Hello, good afternoon. You're watching Market Fatafat on ET now with me, Vinny Motiwala, along with me, Cheryl D'Souza as well. Cheryl, a very good afternoon to you as well. And markets seeing a good recovery, at least from the day's lowest point today.
Absolutely, Vinny, a very good afternoon to you. And yes, a mild recovery actually from the day's lowest point, but nevertheless heartening to see the markets actually near the day's highest point as we speak, once again reclaiming 22,200 mark. When it comes to Nifty Bank, also good recovery coming in for Nifty Bank, given the fact that Nifty Bank for the most part of the trading session was trading in the negative territory. Now it is actually clawed back into the positive territory near the day's highest point, just like the benchmark indices. Talking about the advanced decline ratio, however, Vinny, for now it is skewed a tad bit in the favor of the decline. So let's wait and see how that actually progresses, with the broader markets actually giving up most of their gains as of now.
Surely that's the word coming in on the market as of now. That's what the setup is looking like. But we'll watch out for the second half of the day. But let's get started with all the stocks that have been buzzing in trade on the back of news flows and technicals. And on the technicals, we're joined by Osho Krishan from Angel One, while we have from the research team Snehi as well as Ankita joining in with us. A very good afternoon to all three of y'all as well. Let me start with the first couple of stocks that are in focus today. We're going to talk about Dixon Technologies as well as Whirlpool India. Now, why are both these stocks in focus today? Jefferies has actually downgraded when you look at it in terms of the stocks, both these stocks, and what is it that is coming in to an underperform rating when you look at it over there. Now, Dixon Tech, they believe in terms of the move that we've seen already coming in, soft demand is there. The valuations seem quite stretched for Dixon Tech as well. So that is a concern that they highlighted in terms of Dixon Tech. Other than that, what they're seeing is that the stock had already seen a very sharp run up in the last 1 year when you look at it. 150% uptick in the last 1 year. So, competition is increasing, softer demand, capex outlay, something that they're watching out for, are concerns that they're highlighting for Dixon Tech. They've cut the EPS by FY 25-26 EPS to 2 to 3%, revised the target price to 5,920 rupees from 6,440 rupees for Dixon Tech. Even for Whirlpool, they've reduced the target price to 1,125 from previous target price of 1,265. Underperform rating, they believe subdued performance has come in from Whirlpool. Even they've missed the estimates, Whirlpool of the street as well, in the last couple of quarters, and there's a lot of competition that is there in Whirlpool segment as well, so they're cutting the EPS over there as well, and that is why we're seeing a bit of a pressure coming in on both these stocks. Whether you look at Dixon Tech or Whirlpool, both of them are down 2% to 1% as well, you can see on the screens.
Alright, so that is Dixon Tech as well as Whirlpool, both of them in focus on back of brokerage report. But let's talk about Happiest Minds. That particular counter has seen the biggest jump in about 8 months or so. It's seen the biggest intraday move since June 2023. The company has announced a new organizational structure consisting of 6 industry groups. So on back of this announcement, the stock actually saw an uptick of as much as 6.5% on an intraday basis. They've said that each industry group will have dedicated teams with deep domain expertise, allowing for customized solutions as well as faster response. Stands in the fact that the company has gone ahead with this particular restructuring of their business verticals. You can see the stock trading higher by about 4.5% as we speak.
Okay, let's move on to the next one, and that is ICICI Prudential Life. And Osho, that's the stock that you've picked out for us. We did have Morgan Stanley that upped the target for ICICI Prudential Life today as well, but nothing exciting that has happened in terms of a stock move in the last 6 months. What are the charts now indicating for this one?
Good afternoon, everyone. Well, the technical chart of ICICI Pru definitely replicates that the counter is in a down run, having a lower lows, lower highs pattern that can be seen on the daily chart. But the interesting part that it is on the verge of giving a sloping trendline breakout, which comes around the zone of 540 odd levels. It has sustained around 514 in the initial first half of the trading session today, but there has been some kind of correction in this counter as of now. But overall, it is having a very strong structure, and we can witness a strong recovery from the lower end also. So a decisive surpassing of 540 odd levels can give a strong boost to this counter. On the higher end, we can witness a strong reversal kind of a pattern. Immediately 590, 580 is the target that can be seen. But once it surpasses the zone of 580, 90 also, then from there onwards, we can see the uptrend to continue, and 600, 620 will be the followed up targets.
Alright, so that is ICICI Pru. But Snehi, let's talk about Intellect Design. This one is soaring away in trade today.
Well, absolutely, Cheryl. Up and away. That's all you can say for this stock. And It's only going up, as you can see on the chart of the screen, almost at the highest point of the day as of now also as we speak. So what's the news flow? What's boosting the stock? Intellect Global Transaction Banking, which is the transaction banking arm from Intellect Design, that has announced the corporate treasury exchange, which is their CTX platform, which is also powered by their eMac.ai architecture that has been successfully implemented in France by Societe Generale. Now, the platform's live implementation in the French banking sector will deliver enhanced cash pooling, real-time liquidity optimization, risk reduction, and automated investment of excess cash as well. So, on the back of this partnership that Intellect Design has gone ahead and inked with Societe Generale in France, the stock is up and away. Positive news flow coming over here, 8.5% higher as we speak.
Okay, that's on the back of news flows. That's Intellect Design buzzing away in trade. But, in the last 6 months, Osho, when you look at it, also, the stock has been doing quite well. Almost 50% uptick that we're seeing in the last 6 months. Last 1 year, more than doubled in terms of a move. Would you still hold on to Intellect Design, or maybe it's time to start booking some bit of your profits?
See, Intellect has given a fresh breakout, so it is expected that the momentum should continue in this counter, because if I'll be talking about the technical developments, then we are witnessing a kind of V-shaped recovery or even U-shaped recovery can be seen on the daily time frame. So from here onwards, the uptrend is likely to continue, and even the any kind of blips, like for example, like 1980 is expected to provide a very strong cushion for this counter. So one should definitely hold on to their position. On the higher end, we can expect 1100 followed by 1140 as an immediate target, but the overall trend remains positive, and one should trail their profits, revising their stop losses on the higher end.
All right, outlook looks pretty positive coming in for Intellect Design. Ankita, let's talk about Lemon Tree Hotels. Why is this one in the spotlight today?
Well, yes, Lemon Tree Hotels is on a signing spree, it seems. The company has signed a license agreement for Lemon Tree Resort in, a Sankwasgarh, which is in Rajasthan, and a Key Light by Lemon Trees Hotel in Vijayawada. Now, both the properties are expected to open in FY26 and shall be managed by the Carnation Hotels Private Limited, a wholly owned subsidiary and the management arm of Lemon Tree Hotels Limited. Now, the Sankwasgarh Lemon Tree Resort in Rajasthan will feature 51 well-appointed rooms, and the Key Light by Lemon Tree Hotels Vijayawada will feature 44 well-appointed rooms. Now, you remember earlier this month, also the company had signed a license agreement for an upcoming hotel in Noida under Lemon Tree Hotel brand, and it had also signed a license, for a hotel in Marpale in Telangana as well. So clearly, Lemon Tree is on a signing spree, and we did see an uptick of 1% early in the morning. Right now, it has given up those gains, but is still trading with, with gains of 0.6% right now.
Surely keeping an eye out on Lemon Trees, but we have Havells that's been in focus today as well, buzzing away in trade after Goldman Sachs has come out with a report on Havells as well. They're quite positive on Havells, but Osho, is that the case for you as well? Are you positive on Havells, given that we have not seen a very strong performance in the recent times from Havells?
See, overall the trend for Havells was definitely positive. It was having a very broader consolidation zone near about 1250 on the lower end and 1450 on the higher end. But currently, with the recent development, we are witnessing a kind of multi-week breakout in Havells. So from here onwards, if there will be a sustenance above the zone of 1450, 1460 odd levels, then from here onwards, we can expect another 250 to 300 odd point kind of a movement in short-term time frame. So near about 1750, 1800 can be seen from short to medium-term time frame. Overall trend looks very positive, and it is on the verge of giving a very strong breakout. So definitely one should try to gauge the momentum in Havells in the coming period.
Okay, let's move on to the next one, and let's talk about TCS. A lot of brokerage notes that have come out this morning. TCS is in focus after UBS has upgraded the stock to buy. Target price of 4,700 rupees per share versus the old target price of 4,050 rupees per share. They've lifted their EPS estimate for FY25-26 by 3% and 9% respectively. They see a lot of growth drivers that could come in for the company in terms of leading growth, margins. They believe versus the peers, the company would do better. There's a ramp up in large deals from BSNL, as well as other deals as well, which they've signed. So that is something that will work out well, and they expect a revival that could come in the BFSI segment to boost the earnings and revival overall in terms of the migration to the cloud side as well, cloud migration projects. That will be strong levers of growth for the company. In terms of gross margins also, they are saying that they can expand more than 100 basis points in the next 4 to 6 quarters. Expects a sharp fall in terms of attrition commission rates that will be aiding the gross margins of the company. So quite positive in terms of that. And when you're looking at it in terms of valuations, also currently at 28 times on FY26 EPS, and the multiple is compared to the peers, it's trading at a premium, but historical average for TCS itself, it's still below that. So that is why the positive on TCS. UBS upgrading the stock to a buy.
All right, let's talk about CDSL, then Osho, and how is this one looking on the charts to you?
See, overall, all the companies like CDSL, CAMS, BSE are looking very positive as of now. CDSL is specifically because it has seen a consolidation in the recent period, and the consolidation has happened on a higher grounds. So near about 21, the exponential moving average has provided a strong cushion to this counter, and from here onwards, the stock seems ready to have its next leg of rally. So on the higher end, the sustenance above the zone of 1950, 1960 odd levels can give a strong boost to this counter for 2100 kind of a target in the short term period.
Okay, let's move on and stay tuned into ET now.
Appreciation in foreign currency.
घर रेंट पे देना है और ये अब तक ब्रोकर के पीछे पड़ा हुआ है, और मैंने नो ब्रोकर पे बिना ब्रोकरेज के एक अच्छा टेनेंट ढूंढ भी लिया।
फ्री में घर लिस्ट करो और आपका नो ब्रोकर रिलेशनशिप मैनेजर सब देख लेगा। तो ब्रोकरेज क्यों देना? नो ब्रोकर है ना।
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
जिंदगी की हर छोटी बड़ी जरूरत के लिए आप जो सपने सजाते हैं, बस उसी उम्मीद को तो हम सहारा लगाते हैं। SIP आपकी सेविंग्स को आपकी खातिर काम पर लगाएगी। आज ही अपनी पहली SIP की शुरुआत करें। अधिक जानकारी के लिए अपने वित्तीय सलाहकार से परामर्श करें। LIC म्यूचुअल फंड द्वारा निवेशक शिक्षा की एक पहल।
म्यूचुअल फंड निवेश बाजार के जोखिम के अधीन है। योजना से संबंधित सभी दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।
AU करंट अकाउंट पे सब मिलता है।
वाह!
सोच बदलो और बैंक भी। AU स्मॉल फाइनेंस बैंक, बदलाव हमसे है।
टिप चाहिए? पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ। डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा और मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा। अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ? सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र।
Welcome back. You're watching Market Fatafat on ET now, and let's talk about ICICI Lombard. Amongst a slew of block deals that took place earlier this morning, you also had ICICI Lombard that saw a block deal of approximately 1.4% equity change hands, and the stock actually saw an uptick of as much as 4.6% post the block deal, taking the stock to an all-time high level. This is the first time that the stock actually hit those levels since its debut in the year 2017. So if you break down the block deal, around 69.8 lakh shares actually changed hands via block deal. We don't have the names of the buyers and the sellers as of now, the confirmed official names of them. But nevertheless, as you can see it on your screen, still holding on to good gains after hitting a fresh record high. That's ICICI Lombard.
Okay, fresh record high levels, but Osho, you've picked out ICICI Lombard. Is that a buy coming in from you for ICICI Lombard?
See, on technical perspective, yes, this counter has given a very strong rounding bottom formation breakout in today's session. So near about 1620.40 was the zone where we were witnessing some kind of resilience on the higher end. But with today's movement of near about 5% with a strong, robust volume, one can definitely expect an outrun in this counter on the higher end, because as the technical setup has formed, one can definitely expect near about 500 point of rally on the higher end. So 2100 kind of a target can be seen over a longer duration, but for short term perspective, 1740 and 1780 is the immediate target that can be seen, but definitely a buy call on this counter for a longer duration of near about 2000 to 2100 kind of a target.
Okay, let's move on to the next one, stock number 10, and that is Tanla Platforms. Ankita, a couple of news flows coming in here.
Well, yes, for Tanla platform, firstly it has announced the launch of its new product called TrueBlock.ai. Now, it is to help the enterprises, telcos, regulators and users in multiple ways, for example, reducing registration time for headers, templates by a good 80 to 90%, and we did see it uptick of 1%, though it has eased off gains a bit. I mean, it is not trading at the highest point, but we did see an uptick of 1% coming in on Tanla platforms in the back of the new product launch.
All right, moving on then, Osho, let's talk about Tata Consumer and how is this one looking on the charts to you? No doubt this particular counter has been buzz of late on back of the acquisitions it had done, and you saw the stock move also on back of that. But otherwise, how does Tata Consumer look to you on the charts?
See, as you mentioned, the counter has been in a very strong up move from the zone of 950 towards 1100 or 1200 odd levels. But from a longer duration, we can witness that it has been consolidating near the zone of 1150, 1160 odd levels. But today we have seen a strong traction. Not today, from yesterday, last trading session, we have witnessed a strong traction in this counter, and it is on a verge of giving a consolidation breakout. So from here onwards, the time it surpasses the zone of 1200, we can definitely assume another 100 to 150 kind of a movement in this counter. So on the higher end, 1300, 1350 can be seen as the target from short to medium term perspective, the time it surpasses the zone of 1200.
Say Zuari Agro, that's the next stock that you're going to talk to us about. Why is this one in focus today? What's happening here?
Well, Vinny, yes, this stock is in focus on the back of a sale deed that they have entered into. Now, the company has executed a sale deed yesterday with Zuari Infinity Private Limited. What's key to note is that this is an unrelated party, not related to the company in any way. And this deed is for the sale of certain land parcels of the company, aggregating to roughly 2.1 lakh square meters in the south of Goa. And this entire deal has a consideration of just a little bit more than 79 crore rupees. So, on the back of this sale of land parcels in the state of Goa, Zuari is up today, almost 3% uptick as we speak.
All right, moving on, let's talk about Godrej Consumer then. Osho, how is the charts for Godrej Consumer looking? Similar to that of Tata Consumer, though they both are from the consumption pack as a whole.
Correct. As you mentioned that from FMCG space, these two counters are on the positive trajectory. So Godrej CP again is looking very positive, maintaining the higher stature, maintaining above 21 day exponential moving average. So we can expect that from here onwards, the uptrend is likely to get continued. On the higher end, we are not very much aggressive on the targets, but I can expect 1280 to 1300 can be seen in a shorter duration. And the time it surpasses those zones, and looking at the volume perspective, then one can definitely review the counter for a higher target. But for immediate basis, the risk reward is very favorable. 1220 on the lower end as the support zone, and 1300 on the higher end as the target that can be seen in this counter.
Let's move on, talk about Canara Bank then. Ankita, why is this one in focus today?
Well, yes, Canara Bank is in focus today on the back of the fact that they have announced the stock split. Now, the board of directors of the bank have decided to split each equity share of face value of rupees 10 into 5 shares of face value of rupees 2 each. Now, the rationale behind this is that they want to improve the liquidity of the bank share, and they want to make it more affordable to the retail investors, and also to broaden the retail investor base for the company. Now, the Indian government holds nearly 63% of the stake, and the rest of it is owned by the public for now. Now, the expected time of completion is 2 to 3 months from the intimation date of the board meeting, which was on the 7th of February. That was the information given to the stock exchange. That was the date. And also, a brokerage note has come out for Canara Bank. It is by Motilal Oswal, and they are maintaining a buy on the counter. And the target price that they have set is 650 rupees a share. And on the back of that, Canara Bank is in focus today, currently trading at the day's lowest point right now.
All right, Osho, let's talk about Godrej Properties then. In the realty pack, how is this one looking to you? Because real estate did have a good run over the last couple of years, but now they seem to be a bit taking it a bit easy, isn't it?
See, overall, Godrej Properties specifically have seen a very strong upsurge in the recent period. It has tested the zone of 2400 in the recent period, again underwent some kind of profit booking, and has retested and even has surged higher to the previous swing high. But the most important part, that it has a swing high of near about 2500 in the previous time. So approximately in the year of 2021, it has made a high of near about 2470 odd levels. So we are approximately around the same zone. The time we witness a strong closing above near about 2500 levels, then we can witness a strong movement to continue in this counter. And on the higher end, we can expect 26 to 2700 on immediate basis, followed by 3000 target for a medium to long term duration.
Okay, that's Godrej Properties for y'all. Let's move on, talk about Cello World. We have Motilal Oswal that has initiated coverage on Cello World. Buy rating, target price of 1,100 rupees per share. That's approximately a 31% upside from yesterday's closing price. Today, we've already seen an uptick of almost 3 to 4% for the stock. Now, they estimate that and believe that Cello will actually grow faster than the industry. They already have a strong brand equity and market penetration. That'll be something that'll be fueling the sustainable growth for the company, especially in terms of expansion plans that they have that will reduce the dependency, especially on the glassware segment and imports. The company is also expected to post robust performance in terms of revenue, profits, as well as the operating margins of the company going forward over the next 3 years as well. And margins is expected to improve from the current levels around 23% to somewhere around 26-27% by FY26. So on the back of that, Motilal Oswal has initiated coverage by rating, and that's what is keeping the stock abuzz.
Alright, on that note, we'll slip into a break on this edition of Market Fatafat. But just a quick note for all the flashes that are flashing on the bottom of your screen. Officials have told wire agencies that Maharashtra state will be inspecting outlets of all global fast food chains for food regulation violations. Along with that, they will be inspecting all of the McDonald's outlets in the state for promotion of non-cheese items as containing cheese. And if you look at Westlife Food World, that one is actually falling in trade. Down 5%.
Also, we should check Sapphire and Devyani too. They do have those yum brands also,
given
right?
the fact
So
that the
KFC
state,
and all, if they are going to be checking that, let's pull up the charts for that as well. So Westlife surely has seen a fall coming in, but Devyani Sapphires, let's look at that. Okay, that's managing to hold on, but Westlife clearly, because all this is happening around that, we've seen a fall coming in for this one. Devyani International is also seeing a bit of a fall, but that's since the get-go after the block deal that has happened.
Absolutely.
So, but special fall that has come in Westlife. But let's slip into a short break. We'll be back with more stocks after the break.